the spacecraft and bring it in toward the Unity module to install it to the International Space Station. Cygnus will remain attached to the station until May 11th, when it will depart the orbiting lab.
Verified launch enabled and illuminated.
Roger that. This time I want to verify RCC enabled abort buttons are enabled and illuminated.
Going up on Cygnus today is just over 8,000 pounds of cargo. Within that cargo is 1,669 pounds of crew supplies, 2,174 pounds of science investigations, 200 pounds of spacewalk equipment, 3,534 pounds of vehicle hardware, and 64 pounds of computer resources. I'm joined on console today by Chad Davis of Northrop Grumman, Human Systems Integration and Operations Manager. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I just went over the breakdown of cargo inside Cygnus today. Can you tell us a little bit more about the cargo loading operations and in particular the late load capability?
Yeah, sure. Typically we kick off activities with the initial load, loading up the items that aren't exactly time critical. And the nice thing with the CRS-2 contract is we've enabled the ability for L-24 hour final late load option, which gives the crew or gives the cargo ops team as well as the customer NASA the ability to get critical life science payload delivered and installed inside the vehicle just prior to that L-24 point to launch and get up to the station.
And today marks the second flight of an Antares 230 Plus rocket. What are some differences your team saw between the rocket we've seen fly before and the 230 Plus that we saw on NG-12 and we'll see again today?
Essentially, some of the things with the 235 are improvements in its performance capability. I know, for instance, that the vehicle itself is able to power through as it goes through max Q. It doesn't need to throttle down as much, which gives the performance improvement of the overall vehicle, as well as the one that ties into the actual late load capability is the pop top, we call it, on the fairing, that allows us to take out in that 24-hour period mobile clean room and come right up onto the pad when the vehicle is in the horizontal, and the folks inside the mobile clean room will actually pull the nose cone, for lack of a better term, that very small area off the end of the fairing, and it gives them access to the hatch of Cygnus and be able to load that critical science like the biological and things that are on sort of on a timeline to get up to station, so that they preserve the integrity of the actual science or specimens themselves. The team that I work with is we perform the operations. You saw earlier the Mission Control Center in MCC Dulles, where we fly the Cygnus vehicle from. So we essentially have a team very similar to NASA here. We've got a mission director that is tangential to the flight director. They're in communications with each other once we enter joint operations. But prior to getting to that, the mission director is in charge of the vehicle, and then in the control room you have all the subsystem folks that are responsible for the respective systems, GNC, propulsion, power, and so forth. So they orchestrate and fly the vehicle from launch till we get into the rendezvous phase, and then begin joint operations with our NASA counterparts all the way up to capture.
And when Cygnus takes off today, it'll be the start of Northrop Grumman performing dual Cygnus capability while the Alan Bean remains in orbit for 4 weeks. How do your teams manage 2 vehicles in flight at once?
Yeah, we first experienced or initiated that capability back on NG-11. That particular vehicle we flew for almost 233 days while we had launched NG-12 at the same time. And during that process, we developed tools within our controls that we use to operate the vehicle. So you've got different displays that are different colors, so you know when you're sending commands, it's going to the right vehicle and so forth. And we come together with a different ConOps of operations, how we wanted to orchestrate and have a prime team during dynamic ops when you're doing burns or rendezvous activities versus quiescent ops when the vehicle's just sort of in a free flight state and not doing any maneuvers. And you segregate those teams so that they can monitor their respective vehicles to perform the different tasks going on.
Man test, check 356, FSO. Step 357, bring up CT with check channel on.
FSO in work.
Now just about 29 minutes away from launch today, all systems are still on track for an on-time launch today at 4:39 p.m. Central Time, and that'll be 5:39 p.m. Eastern. Teams have been running through some pre-launch milestones today, which began just about 4 hours ago at noon Central Time with a poll for the launch vehicle to be powered on, and just about an hour and 35 minutes before launch, fueling for the first stage began. There have also been various checks between flight controllers here in Houston and Dulles, Virginia to ensure everything is on track and on time for launch today. Some upcoming milestones: about 12 minutes from launch, flight controllers will conduct a poll to proceed with the final launch countdown, and about 5 minutes from launch, the vehicle will switch to internal power. Then just about 3 minutes and 30 seconds before launch, auto sequence handoff for terminal countdown will be initiated, and that marks the time the computers take over for the final milestones before launch.
FTS is safe, configuration verified, check channel being received, and AGCs are nominal.
Roger, Elect 2, we'll check 360 complete, Ops 1. Step 361, transfer FTSA and FTSB to internal power.
LC Ops 1, FTSA and B internal power on. FTSA external power off. FTSB external power off. IRIG is 221142.
And FTS internal power nominal.
And I copy all. FSO, send FTS receiver arm for 2 seconds, then remove. Continue check channel when function removed.
FSO, arm on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. +1, +2, arm removed. Check channel continued.
LC Elect 2, FTS arm indication received, FTS currently indicates safe.
And FSO, verify FTS arm indication.
FTS arm indication.
And copy all. We'll check 364 and 365.
LC Elect 2, FTS safe in arms and FTLU safe.
Copy, Elect 2, check 366. And Ops 2 LC, countdown 1.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Ops 2, step Juliet 2, you go to deactivate ME2 VPG.
ME2 VPG deactivated.
Copy that, Ops 2.
Now just about 25 minutes from launch, and all systems are still performing nominally for an on-time launch today.
And launch team, we just passed 25 minutes from our target T0. Prop 2 LC, countdown 1.
LC Prop 2.
Step 367, place OCCS in SAC mode and pause HSS ASC.
In work.
Again, I'm joined on console today by Chad Davis of Northrop Grumman. He's the Human Systems Integration and Operations Manager. Chad, can you tell us what's going to happen once we see Cygnus lift off today?
Yeah, primarily once we get to T-minus 0, within the first immediate couple of seconds, the main engines are going to come up to full thrust. We're going to see it climbing off the pad, and then we're going to burn on the core first stage for a little over 3 minutes, depleting the main first stage, accelerating the vehicle out, and then we'll go ahead and see stage separation. We've got a liquid first stage, and then we've got a solid fueled second stage, our Castor 30 XL. At that time, we'll go ahead and see the second stage ignite, but prior to that, we'll go ahead and have fairing separation. So those will come off like a clamshell, exposing the Cygnus vehicle. Typically, the fairing stays on to protect it against the aerodynamic loads in the lower atmosphere. But once you get up high enough, it's so thin, the air, that there's no impacts on the actual Cygnus vehicle. So we'll see the inner stage separate after the fairings open up and separate, and then the second stage will fire, and it'll burn to its prescribed duration. Since it's a solid, once it starts, it'll go until it's finished. And then once we complete the burn of the second stage, then we'll go ahead and fire the separation system that will release Cygnus from the second stage or the upper stage. And then the team in Dulles, Zach and his folks, will go ahead and kick off the activities to initiate the Cygnus vehicle, pressurizing the propulsion systems, bringing things online that were in a dormant state during the launch phase, and then they'll go ahead and one of the primary things we're looking forward is getting the solar arrays out and deployed. We're on battery power, so you want to get those out and deployed, our Ultraflex solar arrays. That way we can start pulling power from them, start recharging what we used of the batteries. And then at that point, the vehicle's in a decent state so that the team is ready to, for lack of a better term, start flying the vehicle and begin its whole phasing operation as it starts to work in its way to chase and catch up with ISS.
LC Ops 1, engine pressure sensors recalibrated and ready for flight.
Copy that, Ops 1. We'll check 377 complete. And Ops 1, let's press with step 378. You go to activate arm enable.
LC Ops 1, arm enable rotated, arm enable illuminated.
And Ops 1, you go to arm stage 1 controller ODM.
LC Ops 1, stage 1 controller ODM armed.
Roger that, Ops 1. We'll check 378, 379. Ops 2, step 380. Set stage 1 controller, EPV VREFs.
Stage 1 controller, EPV VREF set.
Copy that, Ops 2. Check 380 complete. System LC, countdown 1.
Yeah, go ahead, LC.
Yeah, system looking for status on step 381.
In work, LC.
All right, copy that. I'll wait for your report out when that's complete. And launch team, we just passed 20 minutes from T0.
LC tell on countdown.
Go tell. Go tell.
Yeah, tell is armed.
Copy. We can go ahead and check step 375 complete.
And you can check 374 as well.
Roger that.
Now just about 18 minutes from launch today, and all systems are still a go for an on-time launch at 4:39 p.m. Central Time.
And launch team, we're 18 minutes.
And that's 5:39 p.m. Eastern Time. The Expedition 62 crew on board the International Space Station is watching the launch today, waiting for that cargo to arrive. And at the time of launch, the International Space Station will be flying over the eastern Atlantic Ocean, west of the African country of Senegal.
And launch team, we're coming up on 17 minutes from T0.
LC system, step 381 complete.
Copy that, system. Thanks for the report out on that.
Again, mostly sunny skies for launch back at the Mid-Atlantic Regional Spaceport at NASA's Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. Temperatures now about 44 degrees Fahrenheit.
Prop lead LC, can you give me status on 382?
Yes, LC, this is prop lead. F1N level is 11.
Copy that. And core 1 LC, countdown 1. 1 LC, countdown 1.
Go ahead, LC. This is Core 1. Fuel adjustment is not required.
Copy that, Core 1. Prop 2, step 384. Configure OCCS for no adjustment to fuel level.
In work.
And prop lead, step 385, not required. CMD LC, countdown 1.
CMD.
You go to transfer Cygnus to internal power and report when complete.
In work.
And launching, be advised, step 387, not required. And prop 2 status on 384.
OCCS configured for no adjustment to fuel level.
And I copied that. Ops 2 will go ahead and check, prop 2 will go ahead and check 384 complete. Ops 2 LC, countdown 1.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and perform step Juliet 2, preburner low temperature abatement checklist again. You go for cycle 2, ME2 VPG activate.
ME2 VPG activated.
Okay, launch team, we're coming up on our final poll for readiness to proceed to our final countdown. It is National Pizza Day, and everybody should be aware that the team has been designated as a pepperoni pizza today.
And coming up on 12 minutes from launch, when flight controllers will conduct a poll to proceed with the final launch countdown.
LC countdown 1, step 388. At this time, I want a poll to proceed with final countdown. GSO?
GSO go.
RSO?
RSO's go.
TD?
TD's go.
Prop lead?
Prop lead is go.
Stage 1?
Stage 1 is go.
MES?
MES1's go.
GCE?
GCE's go.
ACE?
ACE is go.
Mars?
Mars is go.
CMD?
CMD is go.
LD?
LD is go.
NG?
In honor of Major Robert Lawrence, the first African-American astronaut who made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of the human exploration of space, and who showed that courage and inspiration know no color, Northrop Grumman is go.
And I copy that. NG will go ahead and call go to proceed with final countdown, and we'll check 388 complete.
You just heard the poll to proceed with the final countdown to launch, and all teams are a go.
Ops 2 LC, countdown 1, step 389. You go to start engine evacuation.
LC Ops 2. Engine evacuation started.
Roger that, Ops 2.
Just about 10 minutes and 30 seconds now from launch, and everything is still proceeding smoothly for an on-time launch at 4:39 p.m. Central Time, 5:39 p.m. Eastern.
Cygnus is on internal power nominal.
Copy that, CMD. We'll go ahead and check that step complete.
LC MES-1, step 390, vacuum verified.
Copy that. MES-1, we'll go ahead and check 390 complete. And launch team LC on countdown. We're at T-minus 9 minutes and counting. Ops 1, step 392. We go to enable ACS VDMs.
LC Ops 1, ACS VDMs, internal power on.
Copy, Ops 1.
ACS VDMs enabled, voltage nominal, ODM commands are clear.
Roger that, Elect 1. We'll check 393.
Now just over 8 minutes from launch today. Once we get to that launch time, the first thing that will occur is the stage 1 ignition, and you'll see liftoff just a few seconds after that. And those two main engines will burn for about 3 minutes and 28 seconds before cutting off, and stage 1 will separate. Cygnus will coast for a bit until fairing separation, when the external cover that protects the spacecraft during launch will separate. The interstage adapter that connects the first stage and second stage will separate at 4 minutes and 14 seconds into flight before stage 2 ignition, a solid rocket fuel that will burn for 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Once the second stage burns out, we'll be listening for the call of orbit insertion at 7 minutes and 4 seconds after launch. The vehicle will coast for 2 minutes before Cygnus separation, 9 minutes and 4 seconds after launch, with solar array deploy occurring about 2 hours and 50 minutes after launch. The deploy of those two Ultraflex solar arrays currently tucked away on Cygnus takes about 30 minutes. Then the vehicle will begin gathering data during its 2-day journey to the International Space Station. Now 6 minutes until launch, and all systems are still a go.
LC Site Control, assay ECS transfer to GM2 confirmed.
Roger that, Site Control. We'll check 398 complete. Launch team, we're going to hold at T-minus 5 minutes. TD, we're going to hold at T-minus 5 minutes. Admin, we're going to hold at T-minus 5 minutes.
TD copy. Hold and pending.
And Northrop Grumman just announced on the loops that they will do a hold at the 5-minute mark for unexplained reasons. We'll keep you posted when we hear more.
lead. You're going to do it on countdown 1.
And prop 2, prop lead on countdown 1.
Prop 2, go ahead.
Place OCCS in auto mode and pause the HPGN2 auto sequence control.
You mean semi-auto mode?
That's affirmative.
HPGN2 auto sequence pause.
5047.
And prop 2, close valve 5047.
Closing on my mark. 2, 1, mark. .5047 closed.
Copy, hold on. Okay, loading. Properly. Please close 5079 and then open 5047.
Copy that in prop 2. Command valve 5079 to close.
Inward.
And be advised, we have just under 3 minutes remaining.
.5079 closed.
And prop 2, open valve 5047.
And just under 3 minutes to make that launch window. The launch window today is 5 minutes, beginning at 4:39 p.m. Central Time. So Northrop Grumman will have until 4:44 p.m. Central Time to get that launch off.
Wilco and prop 2, resume auto sequence control of the HPGN2.
Auto sequence resumed.
And return OCCS to auto control mode.
OCCS return to auto control mode.
Launch team LC, countdown 1, be advised, we'll be resuming our countdown at 22:39:29 Zulu. We have a new targeted T0 of 22:40:59. That's 22:40:59 Zulu. We'll currently complete all steps 390 through step 398. As we resume the countdown, we'll go ahead and initiate engine priming and get ready to transfer avionics to internal power. Excuse me, targeted T0 will be 22:44:29. Our new T0 will be 22:44:29 Zulu. And we're less than 1 minute from resuming our countdown. And launch team, our countdown has resumed. Ops 2, step 399, you go to initiate engine priming.
Engine priming started.
5. Copy, engine priming started. Ops 1, transfer avionics to internal power.
And as you just heard, the countdown has resumed. We're looking now for a launch at 4:44:39 p.m. Central Time.
LC Ops 1.
1, external power off.
That'll bring Cygnus right to the end of the launch window today.
LC Elect 1, internal power is nominal.
Roger, Elect 1, check 401. Ops 1, you go to open FTS UMBI-loop and verify green indication.
With the new countdown, we're now 4 minutes and 20 seconds away from launch.
LC Elect 2, FTLU and FTS receiver indications are nominal.
Copy, Elect 2, we'll check 402 and 403. Ops 1, you go to send all arm command.
LC Ops 1, all arm command sent.
Copy, Ops 1, check 404 complete.
LC Elect 1, SNAs, ODMs, all armed.
Copy, Elect 1, check 405. TD, report range status.
Range is green.
Copy, range green, check 406.
LC MES1, priming verified.
Roger that, priming verified, check 407 complete. Launch team, be advised, phase 3 dynamic limits will be active at T-minus 3 minutes.
FT to manage the flight mode.
Three minutes until liftoff.
ODM bus voltages and currents are nominal.
Copy, all Elect 1. GNC 1, step 413, verify ready for nav mode.
Orb nav ready for the nav.
And Ops 2, step 414, switch to nav.
Orb nav, switch to nav.
Copy that, Ops 2, check 414 complete.
LC, this is prop lead. Abort, abort.
Copy that, prop lead. This is LC on countdown 1. We have an abort. We have an abort on countdown 1. Launch team, we have an abort. Time to proceed to abort safing countdown, or checklist.
And the launch today has been scrubbed for reasons yet to be determined.
Ops 1, LC, countdown 1, step Alpha 2, disable your local launch enable button at the failsafe panel. Verify local indicators extinguished.
LC Ops 1, launch enable removed.
And GSO, step Alpha 3, disable your local launch enable button at the failsafe panel and verify local indicators extinguished.
LT GSO launch enable removed.
Ops 1, verify removal of your master global launch enable.
LC Ops 1, removal of master global launch enable verified.
Copy that. And Ops 1, you can deactivate your arm enable failsafe panel.
LC Ops 1, arm enable key rotated and arm enable no longer illuminated.
And MES1, step Alpha 6, I believe we can verify that priming has completed.
LC, I heard a call for MES1.
Yeah, MES1, we're at step Alpha 6 of the abort safing operations, looking for a report on engine priming status.
Yes, so the priming was completed, but the fuel inlet valve has not been opened.
Okay, copy that. So step Alpha 7 will or will not be required?
Alpha 7 is not required.
Roger that, MES1. And Ops 1, step Alpha 8, you go to safe vehicle SNAs and vehicle and ground ODMs and verify ODM safety.
LC Ops 1 in work. LC Ops 1, vehicle safe in arms and vehicle and ground ODM safe.
Copy that, Ops 1, check Alpha 8 complete.
Elect 1 confirms stage 2 ignition. Aura SNAs is safe. Flight computer ODM safe. Station controller ODM safe. Ground ODM safe.
And I copy all there, Elect 1. Ops 2, step Alpha 10, reset your ground ODM power supply.
Good work. LC Ops 2, ground will be on power supply reset.
Roger, Ops 2, we'll check out 10 complete.
FTSA and FTSB SMA safe indication.
Roger, elect 1.
Again, the launch today has been scrubbed. It was scrubbed less than 3 minutes from liftoff for reasons yet to be determined. The vehicle is now being safed, and we're standing by for further recycle options.
Countdown 1, step out 14. Disable each data stream.
Copy, data stream suspended.
And Core 1 LC, countdown 1.
LC Core 1 on countdown 1.
Yeah, direct Eugene Roy to restart their MS session. Report when complete.
And work.
And System LC, countdown 1.
Yeah, system here.
Yeah, System Step Alpha 17. You can coordinate your Core 1 and Core 2 ECS parameter set points with site control after we get through Step Alpha 12 and Alpha 13.
In work.
And launch team be advised, Step Alpha 18 is not required for today's operation.
And LC, this is site control. Step A12 is complete, and the final flow rates are 1587 for the flow rate, and the temperature is 62.5.
Yeah, site control, sorry, you got stepped on there. Can I get that again?
Yes, the aft bay flow rate is 1587, and the aft bay temperature is 62.5.
Is that 62.5?
Copy that.
Okay, roger. We'll go ahead and check Alpha 12. Site control, you can disarm tail rapid retract system.
In work. And LC, this is site control. Tell rapid retract is disarmed.
Copy that. Site control, we'll check Alpha 13 complete. And system, your go for Alpha 17. You can coordinate those Core 1, Core 2 ECS parameter set points with site control. And if you could use Anomaly 1.
All right, copy that. LC, in work.
TLM, LC, countdown 1, step Alpha 20. You can place a dynamic limit checker into detanking mode.
And I copy that. PLC set to detanking.
Roger that. And Core 2 LC, countdown 1. If you could place the E104 national displays into a detanking mode.
DLC in detanking mode.
Copy that. We'll check Alpha 20 complete. Okay, launch team, I want to also proceed to get transfer of FTS to external power. This is step Alpha 23. Elect 2. FSO.
FSO, go.
Okay, we'll go to take FTS over to external power. Ops 1. Step Alpha 24, transfer FTS.
Northrop Grumman officials have confirmed the scrub occurred because of off-nominal data from ground support equipment at the launch pad. No date has been given for another launch attempt as ground teams investigate the issue today. They'll begin the process of draining fluid out of Antares now, and the vehicle is in a safe configuration as we await further information from Northrop Grumman.
LC Ops 1, the internal power command is still completing. Stand by 1.
Again, that scrub came less than 3 minutes from liftoff today.
LC TLM, did you want to stop and restart the archiving?
Stand by TLM.
Alpha 21.
Yeah, TLM, I think we typically... Yeah, I'm sorry, TLM. Yeah, you go for Alpha 21. Stop and restart your telemetry archiving.
Copy that. Archiving restarted.
And Ops 1, sorry about that. Alpha 25 status?
LC Ops 1, avionics external power on, avionics internal power off, waiting for that command to complete.
Copy that.
Complete.
Okay, roger that, Ops 1. We'll check Alpha 25 complete. CMDLC, countdown 1, step Alpha 26. You can proceed with transfer of Cygnus to external power and report when complete.
In work.
LC Core 1 on countdown 1.
Go ahead, Core 1.
FMS session has been restarted. Would you like the UTC time on that?
Affirm.
Restarted at 22:49:23 UTC.
Copy all there, Core 1. We'll check out Alpha 15 complete. And TLM, step Alpha 16, you can enable the Usnoia data stream and turn on the Usnoia embedded stream output to the MS data recording workstation.
Copy that. Data stream enabled.
And we'll check Alpha 16 complete. Go ahead, system. Roger that. We'll check Alpha 17 and Alpha 19. And site control, step Alpha 22. Can you verify 5258 is at 0%? And if not, we needed to set it to that point.
Copy. I will set it to 0%. And LC 5258 is closed.
Copy that. Site control. We'll check Alpha 22 complete. And site control, your go for step Alpha 27, discharge tail, rapid retract.
In work.
And TLM-LC, step Alpha 28, you can configure a decom source to close loop.
In work. And decom configured for closed loop telemetry and receiving nominal telemetry in the MCC.
Roger that, TLM. We'll check 28 and Alpha 29. And Elect 1, can you verify you're getting nominal closed loop in the control room there?
Again, the launch was scrubbed today, less than 3 minutes from liftoff. The scrub occurred because of off-nominal data from ground support equipment at the launch pad. No date has been given for another launch attempt as ground controllers investigate the issue. They have already begun the process of draining fluid out of Antares. The vehicle's in a safe configuration, and Northrop Grumman officials are assessing a date for the next launch attempt.
Close the FTS umbi loop and verify red indication.
LC Ops 1, FTS umbi loop closed and red.
Roger that. And Ops 1, you can remove FTS power.
LC Ops 1, FTS-A, external power off. FTS-B, external power off.
Copy all Ops 1. Elect 1, report FTS power status.
FTS power's off.
Copy that, Elect 1. FSO, you can secure the CT site and verify RF silence.
FSO in work.
And Ops 1, let's go ahead and put Alpha 36 in work. You can remove external power from transmitters and SMI buses.
LC Ops 1, Stage 1 telemetry transmitter, external power off. Motor cone transmitter, external power off. avionics telemetry transmitter, external power off. SMI power A, external power off. And B off as well.
Copy all, Ops 1. We'll check out for 36.
LC, FSO, CT site key down, RF silence verified.
Roger, FSO. We'll check out for 35 complete.
LC, prop lead on countdown 1.
Go ahead, lead.
And we have started detanking A.
Copy. Start of detanking A. Do you have a mark time on that?
Alpha 46.
Yeah, do you have a Zulu time on that?
In work.
Again, the launch was scrubbed today, less than 3 minutes from liftoff because of off-nominal data from ground support equipment at the launch pad. Teams are now draining fluid out of the Antares rocket and the vehicle's in a safe configuration as we await further information from Northrop Grumman teams.
You can see C-band interrogation and turn off TM recorders.
Roger, interrogation ceased, recorders off.
Copy that, BN.
LC, prop lead, countdown 1.
Go ahead, lead.
Detanking started at 2020, 040, 22, 54, 40.
Yeah, copy that, prop lead. And prop lead, going back to step Alpha 39, just want to verify, did you place OCCS in the SAC mode and stop the charging on the engine models?
In work.
Yeah, I copy in work.
LC, prop lead, engine bottle charging stopped.
Copy that, lead.
Again, we're standing by now as Northrop Grumman officials assess a date for the next launch attempt. The launch was scrubbed today, less than 3 minutes from liftoff because of off-nominal data from ground support equipment at the launch pad.
LC, this is admin. Good to copy. Step A40, VTD is in expected state 0.
Okay, copy that. We'll check Alpha 40 complete. And lead, while I have you on countdown 1, as far as proceeding with desiccant management sequencer, when do you need to kick that off?
Alpha 42 will not be required. The desiccant management sequencer will start after detanking D later in the procedure.
Okay, copy that. So we'll say Alpha 42 not required then. And I can also assume that Alpha 43 is not required? Or, let's see, return. Are we in auto mode now?
We have returned to auto mode. Alpha 43 complete.
Okay, copy that. And prop lead, have you configured the sequencer for warm helium venting? Actually, stand by on that.
Not required. Not required.
Yeah, not required. Yep. Okay, launch team. This is LC on countdown 1. We're going to go ahead and direct following members over to Anomaly 1, and we want to go ahead and perform the main engine bottle venting and FIV opening checklist at this time. I'm going to need prop lead, Ops 1, Ops 2, Elect 1, and MES 1 to Anomaly 1.
LC, this is CMD at step 826. Cygnus is on external power nominal.
Copy that, CMD. We'll check Alpha 26 complete.
This is Mission Control Houston. The launch of Northrop Grumman's 13th cargo resupply mission to the International Space Station was scrubbed today, less than 3 minutes from liftoff because of off-nominal data from ground support equipment at the launch pad. The vehicle is now in a safe configuration, and Northrop Grumman officials are assessing a date for the next launch attempt.
And Launch Team LC on countdown 1, we're continuing through our board safing procedure. We're currently in detanking A on our cores right now. We're also in the process of venting our engine bottles at this time.
Houston Station on 2 for Cygnus.
Drew, good evening. Want to let you know the launch is scrubbed due to a regulator issue on the pad. We're looking at a turnaround for 24 hours, but the weather is questionable tomorrow, so we'll get more words to you in the daily summary.
Okay, copy. Thanks for that. We were watching it on BME TV, and then we lost KU right at the end of the launch window, so we figured that it was looking that way, but thanks for letting us know.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
All right, thanks. Good night.
And that was Drew Morgan on board the International Space Station, confirming that he heard everything the flight director was saying. And again, the launch was scrubbed today, less than 3 minutes before liftoff because of off-nominal data from ground support equipment at the launch pad. Northrop Grumman officials are assessing the cause and when the next launch attempt will be made. You can check for further updates on www.nasa.gov. And that'll wrap up our coverage for today, but we hope you'll join us back on air when Cygnus does its second launch attempt, which you can find that information of when that will be on www.nasa.gov.